Hey, welcome to the latest of my macrame tutorials. Today I'm going to show you how to make just a really simple wall hanging or like pendant. So they look really nice if you're decorating, I don't know, out in the garden, or if you're just want to brighten up your home, or they're nice as well just to send as little gifts to people. So what I've got today is I've got a 15-metre wooden dowel. Okay, I'm working on my hanging rail just because I find it easier. So I've got my S hooks here, which are just holding that in place. And the cord that I'm going to use today is the Bobbiny single twist 5mm. And I've chosen to use two of the new release colours. So we've got Moonlight, which is sort of like just an off-white. It's sort of like a little bit darker than natural, a bit, but not as quite as dark as beige. The picture, the camera's not doing it justice actually, but it is really lovely. And then I love this one, very springy, very summery, very pretty. So yeah, so that's the Blossom, and that's the single twist 5mm as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut ourselves 7 lengths of 50 centimetres of the Moonlight, and we're going to have 1 length of 1 metre. I will pop these on a slide as well, and then we're going to have a 2 metre length of the Blossom. Okay, you're also going to need a pair of nice sharp scissors. As always, I use my Fiskars. They are really sharp, so please be careful, don't let kids anywhere near them. Yeah, I've had 1 or 2 accidents with them. Okay, grab everything you need, grab yourself a cup of tea, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, so I've got my cords, and another benefit of using the rail is that you can just hang your cords until you're ready to use them. So I've got my 7 50 centimetre cords, my 1 metre and my 1 2 metre. Okay, so they're all ready to go. Now we're only going to use 2 knots in this design. We're going to use a lark's head knot, and then we're going to use a double half hitch knot. So to attach these holding cords to our wooden dowel, we just want to make sure that we're working with equal lengths. So make your ends of your cord meet, and then if you work your way to the other end, you will have a loop like that. Okay, so we're going to put that loop over the dowel, open that loop out, and then you're going to pull those cords through the loop and then just tighten it so it fits to the dowel. Okay, so I'm going to repeat that again. Make your ends meet, go to the other end, loop, loop over, loop open, pull through. Okay, might be a little bit wobbly on here when you first start, but once we've got all these lark's head knots, we'll be able to secure it a bit more. Okay, so I'm going to continue, and I'm just going to repeat that with the rest of the cords until we've got all 7 on. Okay, and what these are going to do, these cords are going to hang the double half hitch knot. So that's why these ones are quite shorter, because they're just literally holding cords. They're not going to do any work. Okay, 2 more. Okay, there we go. Right. I'm just going to move those S hooks a bit closer, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to secure that one in there and that one in there. And it's just going to hold that a bit more secure when we're making our double half hitch knots. Okay, right, now I'm going to use my 1 metre of the Moonlight cord, and I'm just going to use one of the tail ends and just sort of like make it loop back for about 10 centimetres or so. Okay, now what this is going to do, this is going to attach to our first cord on this side, okay, and we're going to do this with the reverse lark's head knot. So rather than, right, so we're working sideways, so rather than go over the cord like we went over the dowel, we're going to go behind the cord, open that out, and then pull those 2 cords just like that. Okay, and that attaches, you can see it's the reverse lark's head knot because we can't see the cord over the front like here, the cord's hidden, and then we're just going to pull those to the back. Okay, you've got your 10 centimetre tail there, but then you've got the rest of your working cord here. Okay, so that's what's going to do the work. All right, so I'm just shuffling that up with my fingers like that. Okay, now I've got my long 1 metre length cord here, and I'm going to take each of these holding cords one by one, and we're going to make a double half hitch knot. Okay, so to do that, we're going to go over the cord, and then you've got a loop here, and then you're going to pull that cord through, pull that to the back. Okay, make sure it's nice and snug. Right, so that's your half hitch knot, but we want a double half hitch knot, so we're going to repeat that. So over, okay, you've got this loop, bring your cord through, tail out of the way, and then just pull that to the back, and there you go. You've got your double half hitch knot. All right, so I'm going to now take the next holding cord, and I'm going to repeat that again. Over and through the loop, pull back, over, through the loop, and pull back. Okay, and then you can just, we want to pull them sort of like with the same tension really. We don't want some to be looser and some to be tighter, because that way you won't get an even looking knot. So we just want to make sure that they're a similar size, and then what happens is as we do the next row, these all neaten up. Okay, so I'm going to work my way all the way to the end here. Okay, you can stop the video if you need to, slow it down, watch and repeat. And what I am going to start doing though is I'm just going to start moving these holding cords just over a bit, because otherwise it gets too bunched up. Okay, so the holding cord in front, there we go. Okay, right, so you continue all the way to the other end, and I'll meet you when we're done. Okay, so I've completed that first row of double half hitch knots in the Moonlight, and you will have a little tail again left at the end. We can just leave these tails at the moment, and then we'll tie them off to secure them when we've finished. Okay, so if you just spend a little bit of time just sort of like making sure that they're all in line as such, and you know, this bottom row will look a bit looser at the moment, but as we add the next row and push them up, it will tighten it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add the colour. So as I said, I've got the Blossom, first time I've used it, fabulous, and I'm going to attach it to this far cord in exactly the same way with a reverse lark's head knot. So tail about 10 centimetres, loop behind, okay, then bring your loop over, open it out and then pull. It's a bit longer this one because it's 2 metres, remember. There we go. Now hold that steady. It's going to be that way. There we go. And you just want to make sure it's nice and secure. Again, you're going to have a little tail hanging for now, but we can tie it off to the previous tail knot. And see what I mean as well there, when you push it up, it makes the previous row look a bit neater. So we're going to complete one complete row of blossom, so all the way across. So we'll have 14 in total because we had 7 lark's head knots, and then we're going to begin reducing to bring it into a point. Okay, but we'll do the first row first. So we're basically just going to repeat exactly what we did with the first row. So not over, you can probably see that a bit clearer, that you've got that loop there. The pink probably shows it better, the blossom. Okay, and then just pull it to the back. That one where that little tail is, make sure that's hidden because we don't want to see it. There we go. Okay, and we're going to basically just continue and repeat all the way across to the other end. Okay, oh, got tangled then, wasn't watching. Over and through. Over and through. Okay, and then just, like I say, shuffle those up. Okay, right, I'm not going to let you watch me do each one individually because that's boring. So I'll meet you when we get to the other side. Okay, I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so completed the first row of blossom, and as I said, we're going to begin decreasing because we're going to bring it into a point, so it's like a little pendant. So we're going to work back from the other way now. So I've worked left to right, and now I'm going to work right to left. Okay, you might have done it the other way, it's not a problem. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to miss this first holding cord out the way. You can hang it away if you like. And I'm going to go behind the second one in, okay, and I'm going to do exactly the same, but we're just working in the opposite direction. Okay, so over and through, and then just pull that back. There we go, and then over through that loop and pull it back. Okay, again, remembering to try and keep the tension as even as you can. All right, and then we're basically just going to work all the way across, but we're going to miss out the final cord on the other side. Okay, does get a little bit tricky when you've got lots of hanging cords, but we'll be fine. Okay, so now I'm going to take the next one. I'm going to just continue all the way, and again, see what I mean here, as you pull that knot, it makes the previous one tidier, and you don't look as if it's splitting. Okay, so you carry on, leave the final cord, and I'll meet you when we get to here. Okay. Okay, so there's the second row of blossom completed. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my long cord there. So now I'm going to leave the first 2 cords on this side, and I'm going to begin on the 3rd cord in, and then I'm going to leave the 2 cords on the other side when I get there, so as I've mentioned, you know, we're going to be decreasing, sorry, decreasing. Okay, so yeah, we're just going to carry on with that until we keep decreasing until we get to a point. Okay, so if you carry on, do that now, and I'll meet you when we're done. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to unhook this and turn it round, because you've got the back that looks like that. And if you remember, I said these hanging tails, I'm just going to tie a knot so that they are secure. I never just cut the cords, because if you cut the cords, then the chances are that they will just fray. So I'm going to tie a knot, then trim the cords. Okay, and then I've got these two down here. And then I'll just tie these two up here, so the back's a bit tidier. And then I'm just going to turn it back round, snip those. See what I mean about those scissors, are so sharp. Okay, turn that back round, and then you can either leave it as it is, but what I like to do is I will get my brush in a second, but because this is the single twist, it feathers really nicely. So if I get my brush, which is just a pet brush, and then all you need to do, you might be actually better off doing this on a flat surface, is just brush out the fringe. It will curl to begin with, but you just keep brushing and brushing, and you can always use a bit of hairspray. Okay, right, so I'm going to carry on brushing that, and then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the fringe in a V to match the pendant. And again, these bits, when you fringe it, it will push them up and tidy it. Okay, right, so I'm going to do that, and I'll see you when